live. When we're live. Hi, I'm Matt. This is Meridian. We can't sleep, so we're up with two people on the West Coast. Hey, you know what though? I am shocked, Jeremy, to see you awake.
Dude, I've been in the hospital for most of today with my grandfather. So,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This one's been sick too. She slept a lot tonight, and so she is up late with Daddy all for a nightcap. And everyone loved how we ranked all the authors. So tonight we're going to be ranking EU authors from comic books. But first, Dylan got his little feelings hurt from someone in the comments who, very arrogantly announced that we missed two authors. We didn't miss two authors. I just don't want to rank those authors. But Dylan wants to rank the authors.
All right.
Dylan, explain who the two authors are who we're ranking.
hold on. Before this happens, did they also make fun of your awful hair today?
My hair is always terrible. It's my brand. So we have two authors we missed last time. Jeff Grubb, author of Scourge, and Elaine Cunningham, author of New Jedi Order. Believe that was Dark Journey. Yeah, Dark Journey.
Yes.
So where do we put author of Scourge? I'm thinking D tier because it's not a very memorable novel.
Jeremy, what would you say?
I've never read it, so I cannot.
Oh, you've never read Scourge?
I've never read Scourge.
I thought it was unique. Dealing with
if I'm not mistaken, that's the protagonist from it's the protagonist you play in Jedi Academy, right?
Right. It was unique in a way. It wasn't. Did you not like it, Dylan?
I found it forgettable.
Oh, interesting. A little bit of me wants to mark it C, but I'm okay with the D if you're okay with the D.
Okay.
That's interesting. I want to know in the comments, what does everyone think about Scourge? Did you read it? It may be a forgettable one. What did you think?
She hasn't read it yet.
How do you know, Dylan? So judgmental.
All right,
You're a terrible uncle.
Last one, Lena Cunningham, author of New Jedi Order Dark Journey.
C.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I really, if she would have wrote more, like wasn't she supposed to write Blood Oath too?
Yeah.
If she would have completed Blood Oath and it would have been good, which I think it would have been, she would have been a B.
What about
in my opinion? Because Dark Journey was a great New Jedi Order novel.
Completely agree. All right,
great
now
New Jedi Order novel. So there you go. But I still want to know what everyone thinks about Josh Grubbs.
All right, now here we are.
All right.
Now, there are a lot of them. So to preface this list was the same list, basically went through all the authors that were listed on or writers that were listed on Wikipedia. I took out all of them who have exclusively written for New Canon, and every author that has written less than 2 comic issues. So everyone here has at least 2 comic issues, with one exception that we'll get to when we get to them. Also, you'll notice I have a blank profile pic for some of these. That's because I could not find an image of these writers, so I just went with that with their name.
I'll second this. Dylan really did try.
Okay.
All right.
This is. By the way, I just want to make another little fun fact here. Jeremy Dillon and I may hold the record for longest EU conversation ever held continuously. Because however it takes to get to Indianapolis to Monroe, we talked for the entire time, Expanded Universe. I mean, the entire time, even at lunch, if you recall.
Yeah,
I mean, when we ate lunch and dinner, we were still talking EU, and it was just one continuous conversation. And when we were, I want to say, right outside the city limits, I was like, guys, do you realize we've been talking EU this entire time and not getting tired or repetitive either? Yeah, that car ride was epic. And the thing is, I have no idea what we talked about. I just remember it was Expanded Universe, and I was just loving it. And the ride went by like that.
I remember some of it because we started post Jedi because I had just read Truce of Bakura at the time.
Right.
We went through all of post Jedi stuff. Then we went back. It was like we went through like the entire EU, just discussing like event after event of things. I really wish now that I had an audio recorder and I could have just recorded the conversation.
An 11-hour podcast.
That's what Brian was saying. You should have recorded it. Well, we didn't even know we were going to be talking for that long
All
about
right.
it.
Well, this was at the time when we didn't record everything, you know.
Wait, you record everything now?
Oh, well, you're talking
Creepy.
about just creating 2 new podcasts coming up.
Oh, right.
All right, so we got 64 of these guys to go through. Breaking
Brian,
down the
bring
tiers
it.
again for those who weren't here last time or don't remember, or Jeremy who wasn't here.
I was not here.
Have you seen a tier maker video before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know roughly how this works. We have S, A, B, C, D, and F.
Mhm.
S is like the creme de la creme, can do nothing wrong, has done nothing wrong, and then like nothing bad. A is majority good, but maybe they have 1 or 2 stinkers, or they didn't really get outside of their box. They didn't really have a lot under their belt, but all the stuff they did have was real good, maybe 1 exception, 1 or 2 exceptions. B is mostly good, but you had quite a few stinkers, so you're above average. C is kind of like you're about average. You either have as many good as bad, or like you only have like 1 or 2 that are good and like not much else. D is basically like the forgettable tier. You did a few things, they weren't bad, but they weren't great. And F is the Tim Levin tier, honestly. Honestly, like it's that bad. You got to like all the stuff is bad.
Okay.
All right. So first, this is one, Jeremy, you are going to have to carry us on, because I think you're the only one that's read these. Adam Gardo, he is the one who wrote 2 Tales short stories, The Lesson in Tales 14 and All of You in Tales 17, and wrote Star Wars Infinity's Return of the Jedi.
Infinity's Return of the Jedi is a fun one. The other 2, completely forgettable. I only vaguely recognize them from you saying them.
While they're thinking about that, in the chat room, Jeff Grubbs, is he a B or a C? No, I'm sorry, C or a D, excuse me. If you're going to ask who, then he's obviously a D.
He wrote Scourge. All right, so Jeremy, you're gonna have to carry us on this one, because I think you're the only one who's read Infinity. It's kind of why I wanted you on here.
I read. Wait. Do you mean the comic book Infinities?
Yeah.
I've
He
read
wrote
it.
Adam Garrido. He wrote Infinity's Return of the Jedi.
In Infinity's
Oh no. He's a. Well, okay. Never mind.
I'm going to put him at yeah,
Oh.
D.
B.
F.
D.
What?
D.
D. I don't.
I really
I think reimagining Star Wars isn't that interesting.
and you see, I do.
No,
If
that's
it-
fine. Put D. I'm going to go with Jimmy because I haven't read it.
And I read that not too long ago. I went through the trilogy again, and yeah, I enjoyed some of what he changed and thought out. All right, who's next?
D
Yeah,
tier
next.
is gonna be real populated with all these Tales authors. Okay.
Real quick, Amelia, Meridian has it, but I think she's getting over it now. She's feeling much better. My baby had RSV.
Yeah, I was really worried for you, dude.
Yeah, this is her though. She's doing much better. She's happy.
She's having a grand time.
Doesn't have a fever anymore. She's laughing. And
So
she's
next
getting in
we
trouble
have,
now.
I know, Jeremy, you have some strong opinions on him. Alan Moore.
I'm reading V for Vendetta right now.
Hold on. I need to preface this. We are not talking about Alan Moore's comic book writing outside. We're talking only in Star Wars.
Only in Star Wars. And for this list, we are only talking about their contribution to the comic. So there are some people who have done novels, who have done source books, and that we are only talking about their contributions to the Star Wars comics.
And I'm getting there. I like Alan Moore's take on Star Wars because it's fresh, but it's not that great at the same time. I put it at C.
See?
C.
All right.
He gets an F for me.
You just hate all the old guys.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
the guy did not want to make a Star Wars story. He wanted to make an Alan Moore story.
Yeah.
Now, I appreciate Alan Moore as a comic book writer. I need to say that.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me as a comic book writer, where does he go? He goes in an A. Okay? All right? You could argue an S. But for Star Wars, to me, it was obvious he wanted to write a Star Wars. No, he was asked to do one. He said, okay, but I'm going to do it the way I want to. And I don't think it felt like Star Wars at all. It does. Have you read? When was the last time you read those? The Devil Worlds.
Within 2 years ago, but I honestly,
they're not good.
But they're different and they're fresh to me. In that era, it is so vastly different from the other material of the time that's why it gets a C for me.
Okay,
So
I agree with Son of Luke. I agree with Son of Luke who says Alan's Star Wars comics didn't really have any impact on the rest of the EU. That's true too.
So I'm going to take
it's not his fault because back then it wasn't. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alexander Freed, whose Legends contributions are the Old Republic comics and Purge Tyrant's Test, which was issues 4 and 5 of Purge, I believe.
D.
D's going to be a real populated tier.
D is going to be super populated here because we have a bunch of blech in there. All right, keep going.
All right. Andy Mangles. What did he do? I have the Wikipedia one.
Wasn't he the one guy who did Twin Engines of Destruction?
I believe so. Let me check. I have the Wikipedia one open, so I can just I can click and see what they've done.
He only did Twin Engines of Destruction. If I recall.
Boba Fett Twin Engines of Destruction.
He had a sequel written, but it never got approved. I'm gonna hit B because I think that's the best Boba Fett comic book out there. Dylan, you can be the tiebreaker though. He did only write one.
Yeah,
I mean there is that. But the one he wrote is so memorable because if you think about it, Jodo Cat, spoilers folks, Jodo Cass was huge in West End Games, and for him to finally come to, I mean, you killed off what I would think is kind of a major character in West End Games. So that's kind of unique too. Twin Engines of Destruction is just a really good. Name a better Boba Fett comic book. In fact, name a better Boba Fett story. I'm trying to think of some short. There are some good short stories in there, but as comic books go, that's one of the top for me for Boba Fett.
Anything from Death, Lies, and Treachery, that graphic novel, which I think has the fat lady sings, is in there. I like that better. I thought it was more like this is him doing a job, and it's nasty and awful, and that's how it is. That's my favorite, I think, of his. But I love Twin Engines of Destruction. You know, I'll agree with you, Matt. I'll take it up to a B.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually going to put him in C because, again, only one. But, yeah, you guys.
Only one. I agree. That's why I can't go into A, but it was really solid.
Yeah.
Now, who was it? Rob D was asking if we're not doing this for artist or pencilist. To be honest, I would not know. I don't know a single pencilist. Yeah. And I know very few artists for Star Wars.
If we did cover art, it would just be like the cover.
Dave Dorman.
Yeah.
It would be all Dave Dorman. I hate that, Rob. I wish I was more well versed in comic artist and pencilist for Star Wars. But I, off the top of my head, this artist I can only think of a handful, and pencilist I can think of zero.
All right, so
yeah.
So it's not a video for me to make.
Yeah.
Someone else can make it. But go ahead.
So next up, we got an oldie, but one that became a little bit more well known recently. Archie Goodwin. Author, writer of many of the classic Marvel Star Wars issues 11 through, it looks like, with some exceptions, 11 through 50, 98, and he wrote the Return of the Jedi one, which, again, that includes issue 50, The Crimson Forever, which we got the sequel for, essentially.
He did a lot of comic strips, too.
Yes, he did most of them, I do believe.
Yeah, I believe so. He was well loved by George Lucas. George Lucas was a huge fan of Archie Goodwin.
Mm-hmm.
Huge fan of Archie Goodwin. Loved the comic strips, read them. This is more EU that George is on record for reading and loving. And Son of Luke says A for Archie. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You could even argue S.
I'm going to
the guy really was the expanded universe for a long time.
I would put it at S because this is what defined Star Wars, in my opinion, over any of the stuff that came out at the time. I mean, this is the archetype for the expanded universe.
All right, putting him in S.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, this is going to be an easy one. Brett Matthews wrote 2 short stories and tales.
F.
Yeah.
Thanks
Really,
for telling me Tails. He said Tails, which there means there's an 80% chance it's going to suck. So F.
Hold on. What were the 2? I'm just going to name these off in case you Free Memory and A Day in the Life.
Don't remember F.
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 If you're in Tails, you're getting an F from me. Unless I remember you, which is very rare.
All right. We're going.
Amelia, if someone's ranking an F, does that mean you respect them? I don't care. I think Tales is one of the most laziest, awfulest put together comic books in Star Wars history.
Yeah.
I think Dark Horse just wanted to sell more pages, and that comic book space could have been used for some other story, any other story, and they just didn't do it because they didn't want to. And I think they paid everyone cheap money, a bunch of little names or no names most of the time, not all the time, just to get away with the cheap book and sell it because of Star Wars.
He wrote Son of Luke. He wrote 2 short stories and tales. I closed down the page, so I couldn't tell you because I moved on to the next one.
Doesn't matter. We're moving on. I don't want to spend any more time talking about someone who wrote for Tales.
Bruce Jones.
Yeah, bye. That's right.
He wrote the 4-issue of the Dark Horse's adaptation of Star Wars: New Hope Special Edition.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing.
D tier then.
D, yeah.
Okay, no comment. I don't. When you, I hate to say this, but when you write the movie version of a comic book, how creative are you going to get? Was he creative? Because if not, I'd give him an F. I hate to be that mean, but go ahead.
It has to be like you have to add something EU that the
did he
put in? No. But,
in the comic book, I don't think he did.
But it was serviceable, and that's
okay
to a lot of what the new canon, like comic book adaptations of the movies have been. I have to go with that. There is a worst tier.
Right.
Okay, Son of Luke says D, so we'll do D.
We got another Tales guy, but he wrote other stuff than Tales.
Thanks for saving him.
Chris Avallone wrote Unseen, Unheard, and Tales 24. Also wrote the Clone Wars Adventures, Heroes on Both Sides, Impregnable, Old Scores, and Graduation Day.
D.
D?
Mm-hmm. One of those was decent to read.
I'll give Jeremy that D. I still say F. I'm feeling awful today, but go ahead. Next.
Chris Claremont.
Yeah, he did some old school Star Wars, right?
He did the annual.
17 annual Long Hunt, 53, 54, and he also did World of Fire.
Yeah, B. No, C.
I was gonna say C.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
C as well.
That annual's really good, but the other stuff I'm not remembering.
It's okay.
Well, is the annual?
I think as a comic book writer, as a writer, period, I think Chris Claremont's overrated.
Well, he's very wordy, and it's like it's nice sometimes, and other times it isn't.
Let me make sure he got his fame from writing '90s X-Men, right?
I mean, I think he wrote "God Loves, Man Kills" when they did the graphic novel line. He did
that's X-Men.
Yeah,
but that's how he got his. That's where he really got big.
He did Dark Phoenix and Days of Future Past.
Okay,
he had the quintessential.
I know. Okay, I still think he's overrated because what has he done since or before? I don't know. Anyway, that's just me.
Next up, Chuck Dixon, author of Grievous, the 4-issue series, or Star Wars General Grievous, the 4-issue series.
Holy cow! I did not even realize that was Chuck Dixon.
Sorry, everyone. The train is coming by on.
I've forgotten. Can't hear it. That Grievous series explain it. Oh man,
that was his That was the first of where we found out he was a. Oh fuck!
That series surprised me.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was much better than expected.
Mhm.
I'm hesitant. I'd like to give it a B
Yeah,
because I know he didn't write anything else, but it was really good because it gave us some background into Grievous. And doesn't it connect to Visionaries?
If it does, I don't remember, but I don't remember most of Visionaries.
But I remember being surprised by how good that was. Meaning how much we got out of that series when usually a 4-part series called Grievous right before episode 3 is going to be just junk. And it wasn't. So I would say B.
Okay.
B.
I was very impressed by that.
All right. Carino. I'm terrible with these names. Karina Beckno. She was the co-authored Legacy 2.
B.
Co-author?
Yeah, there were two.
There were 2 writers on Legacy, the second version of Legacy?
Yeah, I forget the other. Well, we'll get to the other one. I forget who. But yeah, there were 2 authors on that.
I did not recall that. Man, that is hard when they're co-writers because you don't know who contributed what.
See, the way I'm seeing it with the co-authors, because there's a lot of co-authors, but there's like one that did more than the other. So I think the best way to is to you take what they wrote together, but if one person wrote more than that, then like you take that into account. But
Dylan, what do you think?
I did not like Legacy 2. I thought it was a big step down. If it wasn't for that ending quote that Maurice Eiffel had, then...
But they wouldn't have had that if they hadn't have been rushed to end the series.
Right, and that's what I'm thinking as well, that it's unfair to judge it because if it was rushed. I'm thinking maybe C. Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of what ifs surrounding that. Like we never got to understand the secret of Han Solo. I think they should have revealed that in the last comic book instead of just saying, "Well, we don't have time." Well, it's very rough. That I don't know. It's very rough to talk about the series because it took a nosedive at the very end, but you can't blame it. But it just kind of threw up at the end. It threw up on itself. It's like the guy at the party who thought was cool, and then all of a sudden, what the reality was, he was just drunk and he threw up on himself, and now he looks stupid. It's kind of how the ending of that series went.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. We got a good one coming up, or at least I think he's a good one.
All right.
Darko McCain, author of Chewbacca, Jedi vs. Sith, Vader's Quest, and X-Wing Rogue Squadron: The Phantom Affair.
B.
Wow. B?
Jedi
I was going to give him an A.
Yeah.
And
Why do you say? I'm listening. Why do you say B? I'm interested.
Jedi vs. Sith is awful. If he had just written that, I would have given it an F. But Chewbacca is so good that it puts it at an A. But Phantom Affair, well,
you're right about the Phantom Affair. The
Right.
Phantom Affair was nothing to write home about.
if it didn't have good art, would have been unbearable to read. But
That's interesting. I'll go with B. You're talking me into it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Dylan. What do you think?
I was going to say
Chewbacca
A.
is good.
Chewbacca is incredible, but
Vader's Quest is pretty good too.
No,
No? Okay.
I'm not a big fan of it. I've never.
Let's go B. I'm fine with B. You're right about the Phantom Affair.
All right. Wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Next.
That's good. It's a good argument, Jeremy.
Thank you.
I could only sorry to if any of these writers ever watch this, sorry that I couldn't get an actual image. I had to use your self-drawn portrait. But David Land, author of, or I keep saying author, they're technically writers.
Writer, yeah.
Yeah, he wrote Boba Fett, Agent of Doom, Jedi Academy Leviathan, Jedi Council, Acts of War, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, Last Stand on Ord Mantell, and the Orient Express, Chewbacca 3 and 4, Empire 7, Sacrifice, Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones.
What was his first one again?
Actually, no. Sorry, these are all editors. Okay. I apologize. Those are all editor's notes. The only thing those are all things he edited. The only thing he actually wrote was Infinity's Empire Strikes Back. Whoops.
Okay, so I will start on this one Infinity's The Empire Strikes Back issue 3 was the first Star Wars comic I ever read. I found it in an antique store. And I have to, on nostalgia's sake, and because I will really like that, the reimagining, I give it a B.
If we give this Joker anything higher than a D, because I know you're going off nostalgia, and I can appreciate it. But it's an Infinity story. I would argue it doesn't even belong in a discussion about the expanded universe. I'm confused on why we're asking.
Meridian literally did like the
canon
finger
people.
quotes while you said that.
Yeah. Well, that's because she agrees with me. Don't you, sweetheart? She doesn't understand why we are looking at Infinity's people who had nothing to. Infinity's wasn't C canon.
I mean, I consider it more canon than Dave Filoni's Clone Wars, but that's a discussion for another day.
Dylan, I'll let you make the choice.
We got the other Infinity's guy in D, so
Uzab said D.
Okay, I'll accept that.
And Jeremy, I'm not meaning to belittle your memory of it at all. I think that is a great memory. It's wild that was your first comic book, and I'm sad it was. I wish you would have had a better memory than that. I wish you would have told me your first comic book was something like Vader's Quest or.
Well, I mean, my second comic was Republic issue 68, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's a much better one to have first, but. Okay, anyway, next.
All right, so we got the note pictures. David Manek, author of Marvel, Star Wars, Droids, and Ewoks.
You don't want my opinion. I would say C.
I know you would say C.
I would say C because I'm a big fan of the cartoon. Now, here's the deal. With those comic books, are they cheesy? Absolutely. But remember, they were part of the last vestiges of the expanded universe before it went dark.
You know what, Matt? I would go with C because of that crossover event. That kind of explains why
the droids Ewoks.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That is the one thing that series has going for it. But it's so good.
And to be honest, I am biased because I love that cartoon growing up.
So we saying C then?
Yeah,
I guess we are. I'm so happy that this is going to piss a lot of people off.
Dude, I'm okay with trolling everyone.
Here, watch. I'm getting my Kanisha bank out.
Don't worry. Well, when we
Kanisha's
get to
happy. Hold on. Let's get the Wicked Wart from the Ewoks cartoon bank out. Oh, it has money in it too.
Troll the chat.
Nice.
We would just put like Ostrander and Anderson in F tier and be done with it.
Yeah. We gotta see. Look, Lil. Right. This is your inheritance here.
David Michelin, author of Star Wars issues, basically 51 to 69, missed a few, and 78. He was also wrote Annual 2, Shade Shine.
Is this if I'm not mistaken,
Dylan?
Author,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Insisted that Luke would have a lightsaber when he lost his lightsaber. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt.
Those are the issues you're talking about, right? Is after Empire?
Yeah, that's after.
Yeah, I did criticize him for that. I think that was a big. Now the thing is, though, yeah, he only saw the movie once in theaters, probably, and he probably forgot. But how do you forget? Maybe he thought that he had. Maybe he knew that his arm got chopped off, but maybe he just didn't pay much attention. But yeah, that attention to detail is kind of a glaring mistake in the expanded universe. So by fault, maybe a D. That may be a little harsh, but I'm faulting him for.
I'm looking at these, and I'm like Resurrection of Evil, to take the Tarkin, Pliff. I'm like, none of these are standing out to me.
Okay. Use it. Andy Mangels, the only reason he doesn't get to be an A is because Twin Engines of Destruction was the only thing he wrote. But I definitely would agree with you. If he'd have written anything else, if he'd written just the sequel to Twin Engines like he wanted to, and it'd been decent, he'd have been an easy A for me. Easy A all day.
Right. Dave Michelin goes to D tier. Now this is the only twofer, because unlike the other co-authors, these two literally wrote one thing. Wrote the same thing.
What was it?
The Philbot brothers of Matthew and Sean Philbot. They wrote pretty much all the Clone Wars adventures.
Really?
We're talking the Gingy Tartakovsky tie-ins, correct? The digest ones?
Let me just check.
Yeah, which ones were we talking about before I say? You know what though?
Yes,
I
the
didn't.
Jendy Tartovsky's first one, July 7, 2004.
A.
Wow. A. I was gonna say
They also
B.
wrote. Sorry, they also wrote.
I'm fine with it. I just
Clone Wars Shipyards of Doom, Crash Course, The Wind Raiders of Colossus Destiny, and the Star Crusher Trap.
So, Shipyards of Doom has one of the most. We've talked about it on Legends podcast numerous times on how it offends me with the carbon freezing continuity error. So, yeah, that drops to a B.
Really?
Because that offends me on multiple levels.
I thought they were good. I don't think they were great. So I'm gonna say B.
But
B?
the Clone Wars adventures are just, if you all can get your
They're
hands
fun.
on them, they're really fun to read, and
Yeah.
they get through them in an afternoon. All 10 volumes of them.
All right, let's see. Oh, here he is. Next, we have the other co-author of Legacy 2, Gabriel Hardman.
I say give him the same treatment.
Just gave him the same treatment as we gave the last one. I agree.
Ooh, okay. We got a good one here. Hayden Blackman.
You know what I'm gonna say? Oh,
what?
Yes.
He does not like Hayden Blackman. I forgot to mention that to you.
Hayden Blackman has potential, but is when we were going through Republic, what had the weakest Republic stories for one thing.
He did Jabeam.
That's it. That is the only positive one there.
Open Seasons, Obsession.
You got Force Unleashed, and you got Force Unleashed 2. Two of the worst Dark Horse comic things. Need I have to get on my soapbox and explain how Force Unleashed is the worst thing that happened to the EU?
Archie Goodwin, Chris is an S tier.
You are rap because to me, and here's the deal. This is where Jeremy and I disagree, and we've already talked about this. Jeremy and I have already talked about this. Jeremy knows I disagree with him. I was shocked because I think when I found this out, correct me if I'm wrong, when I found this out, I was so excited that I'd gotten Force Unleashed 2, the comic book. This is back in the day when I was still collecting extra stuff. I didn't know that Force Unleashed 2 had a comic book adaptation.
It did, as I recall.
Follows Boba Fett, yes, and you told me about it, and I got it, and I thought it was great, and you said it was junk. I was like, wait, what?
It's a really bad book.
See, I was going to put Hayden.
Yeah, Chris, get on the stream.
I was going to put him in SA tier. You say C?
Yes.
I said S. He says C.
There's such a polarizing between the good and the bad. Where there's going to be
give Dylan an example of what you did not like about it.
With Force Unleashed.
Tell him what you told me. Yes.
I heard it.
That's the one you had the biggest problem with, right? Was Force Unleashed.
Well, we all know I have a problem with Force Unleashed in general, and that was what Hayden Blackman's big project was, Force Unleashed, and I think it damaged the EU as a whole in multiple ways, and the comic books, in a way, did not help. They were more of in my opinion, a hindrance to the story. They could have added more to it, but instead the first one's literally a nothing story. Been there, done that. The second one attempts to tell a Boba Fett story when we have thousands of Boba Fett stories of its caliber that are not good. But Hayden Blackman is supposedly supposed to be a really supposed to bring this up with a good Boba Fett tie-in, and nothing. It's a nothing story. Absolutely nothing. But I will say Jango Fett Open Seasons is one of my favorite stories, and the Jabeam story arc is one of my favorite stories, and I also love Obsession. That being said, it is it's like acid to base. They're on two opposite ends of the spectrum. It's not like with someone like John Ostrander, where John Ostrander's written some crap, but his stuff is it's not that crappy. It's just bad for John Ostrander.
Okay, you need to stay on target here. We're talking about Hayden Christensen. Now, a bunch of people are saying A, and I'll be fine giving him an A.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying S and A. I'll be fine dropping him down to an A. because you do make good you do make good points. Not
If
everything.
Chris jumps on here and I would love to know what he thinks. He's saying he didn't get the link, but I sent it.
All right. Next, we have Henry Gilroy. He wrote.
Oh, there it is.
He wrote the episode.
Hold on. Chris, Hayden Blackman.
A.
Okay,
there it is. Keep going.
that's fine. I can live with that.
But I will add that
okay.
in general,
Henry Gilroy.
Chris, I'm going to tell you that Pip's in the chat too.
Oh, I should probably go. Okay, bye.
Wrote the Phantom Menace adaptation, the Attack of the Clones adaptation. Also wrote Episode 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, and 4 Tales as well. Secret Tales of Luke's Hand, Death Star Pirates, A Jedi's Weapon, and Number 2 in the Galaxy.
D. None of that's memorable.
Yeah,
Okay.
those one shots were not that good.
All right.
Chris,
Plus, no, I think almost anything Tails has to go B. I mean,
I'm not
just-
getting anything from
well,
Chris.
I'm saying it has to go F, but people aren't being mean tonight.
You know
So.
what? I will second F because those are Phantom Menace adventures we're talking about here, and those are worse than Tales in some regards.
I agree.
Chris,
I
literally, you're just a
What?
circling screen for me. I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear him.
I can hear him. Dylan, you just have a bad headset.
Okay, hold on. Here's the deal. I want to agree with Jeremy about what he just said about the Phantom Menace one-shots. They were fluff. They were nothing. And that's why when I saw Grievous come out, I thought it was going to be the same thing because we've gotten this before. Besides, what was that bounty hunter's name? The shapeshifter in the
Sam.
second one,
Yeah.
which was decent. I enjoyed that one shot.
Yeah, that was really good.
I did not enjoy any of the other one shots for episode 2 either. So when Grievous gets his own I may be wrong about that, but hold on. When Grievous gets his own 4-issue series, I was really surprised. It was way better, a step above anything I'd seen before. So I would agree to put him F, but that's because I hate people who write for Tales.
So you guys think F then? All right.
Yeah, F.
RJ, there's a few things in the comic book that are not covered in the novel. One, Jeremy told me, Force Unleashed 2, for instance, is told through the eyes of Boba Fett, which I thought was unique.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good.
F is strong. I would just say I remember for a long time there was kind of this conventional wisdom that
All right.
didn't like the
Next, Howard
sorry.
Shaken. Is that how you say that?
Look, you're upsetting my girl. Just put her as an F. Let's move on. I'm kidding. D, I'm fine with. D, I'm fine with. Move on. It's okay, baby. I know.
For Star Wars issue 7, 8, 10, and that's just collections.
Dylan,
Who's next?
what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, I can't hear Chris. Oh, Chris is muted.
No, he's not.
Yes,
We can
Yeah,
hear him fine.
Dylan, I don't think Dylan can hear me. I'm talking, but he can't. You can't hear me, can you?
we all
I can hear you.
do.
Dylan can't hear me.
Yeah, it's just I can't hear Chris.
Okay.
That is
I don't-
weird.
This might not work.
Let me see.
Chris,
Okay.
it's Dylan that's the problem.
Yeah. So let me see if I can I'll refresh and come back.
Awesome.
Okay, refresh and come back.
You know what I was going to say? I remember a time, you guys remember it too, when there was the conventional wisdom in the fandom that if you didn't like episode 1, that's cool. Just go ahead and check out these tie-in comics. There was this notion that you need to go find these tie-in comics. Remember the Digest and some of these other comics?
Yeah.
I don't know why. It might have just been that people just thought, no, there's a way of rescuing episode 1 and it's through these other things. But yeah, I don't know that necessarily is true. Anyway, interesting.
Dylan, do you hear Chris now?
All right. Now I
Yeah.
got. Yep. Now I got you. Okay.
See, we weren't pulling a Mr. Snuffleupagus on you. He's real and he's talking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was an old
All right.
Sesame Street reference. Okay, let's go.
Now we have Howard Chicken. He wrote Star Wars 7, 8, and issue 7, 8, and 10.
D.
D.
7, 8, and 10.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, wait a minute.
Are you talking original Marvel Star Wars?
Let me check because it was republished in a long time ago, Volume 1.
Yes. He gets.
Yes, 10, D.
I would put him at a C.
Wow.
Like,
Ooh.
A lot like with the Archie Goodwin stuff. This is the stuff that's really started.
For only 3 though, because Archie has that, but Archie has like
Well,
almost
that's why
50.
Archie is an S and not a C.
All right. Chris, what do you say? C or D?
I'm on the bubble. I don't know. Is there a tie? I don't care.
What do you say, folks?
Yeah,
It was the Jackson storyline, so that should tell you.
it's definitely.
You know what? That makes it D for me.
There
Yeah.
you go. D it is.
What have you guys done so far with some of that older Marvel stuff? Some of like the less notable stuff.
Archie Goodwin has an S.
That makes sense. What about have you guys done any of the other kind of random?
Yeah, we did the one who wrote the issues where Luke still had his lightsaber even though he lost it in Empire.
Right.
I was voted out, and they put it at a D when it should be an F.
I think that's a grievous continuity error that he should have seen.
I mean, it's in my opinion infamous that wasn't caused by a certain fedora-wearing person at Lucasfilm.
Okay, hold on. And Alan Moore is getting a D, even though he did nothing for Star. He did something for the comic book world, but I don't think he did anything for Star Wars. Deborah Wolves is not good.
It's Infinities too at this point, right? I mean,
No, it's considered canon.
is it really?
I'm certain of it, yeah.
Huh.
All right.
Yeah, Joe. I can't remember what Joe's. You know Joe. He can turn anything.
Sure.
in continuity.
Chris Claremont's the other one we've gone over. He's C. Alan Moore.
Okay.
I'm being outvoted. I like Alan Moore as a comic book writer, but I don't think he wrote Star Wars well, and I was going to give him an F. But we can't be so mean tonight, I guess.
All right, so
It's
probably an F tier for Matt. Ian Eddington wrote Lando's Commandos on Eagle's Wing, Tales 5, Hot Time in Cold Town Tonight, Tales 6, and Honor Bound, Tales 22.
F.
Wow. You're on F. All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Finally, good.
Not on top of those being not good stories, most of them had bad art too, which is the
Bad art does a lot. Well, that was Tales. They went cheap on almost everything.
occasionally you had something that was beautiful. You remember that Republic Commando Tales story? That had the best art in that whole series.
True. Nathan Fillion's New Jedi Order story also had good art and starred oh my gosh, Kyle Katarn, which was great.
Right.
So there are some highlights, but very few.
Wait,
Yeah,
you say Nathan Butler. Nathan Butler did that one, right?
Nathan Butler. I said Fillion. Excuse me. I'm
Nathan-
reading Firefly right
Nathan
now.
Butler, I actually had to omit from this list because he only had one issue in Tales, unfortunately.
Oh, interesting. Although that was one of the few that got made into a comic action figure pack, bizarrely, which is kind of cool. But real quick, the Tales covers were often really, really good, which I thought was interesting.
Except for when they decided that they
That's
were
true.
variants and have more of the variants than the normal colors in stock, and they just did bad Photoshop. Because that was the popular thing in the mid 2000s with comics.
To be honest, if Nathan Butler was on here, I might give him a B.
I might second that.
Because I thought the Kyle Katarn story was really good, and he told me that he purposely wanted to do one with Kyle Katarn because he thought it was underused in the expanded universe.
Yeah, in fact, I remember he had quite a few conversations with Lucasfilm at the time. He wanted to extend the lore in a couple of different ways. I think they kind of put some brakes on because they weren't sure what they wanted to do. But I mean, obviously, he brought a lot of care and love to it.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for not including him, Dylan. Next.
Well, again, he
Thanks for
only
giving me
wrote
other
one.
tell. I know. By the way, I don't care. My little girl's falling asleep on you. You're so boring right now.
All right. So next we got John Strand wrote Prelude to Rebellion and Republic, Star Wars Droids, Session of Revolts, and co-wrote with Stackpole the Battleground Tatooine and Requiem for a Rogue arcs of Rogue Squadron.
Hey,
I'd second that. A.
Public stuff, yeah, for sure.
I enjoyed that writer.
Battleground Tatooine is one of the better X-Wing Squadron.
Really good because it continues the story from Tales. I love it.
Mhm.
I
Which
love
I
it.
didn't know until I watched your video.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
when I read that, I was shocked. I was like, "Shut up!" Because it was a big continuity thing they were doing there, but it was great, great.
I'm so glad you're going through stuff that I reviewed early on into our EU Rebellion. It's like giving me a whole new perspective on it because you refrained from talking about because X-Wing Rogue Squadron is one of my favorite comic series. Even with its faults, it was one of the first ones I finished. But it's nice to hear an opposite opinion on it. See, we can actually get along with each other and not agree on everything, people.
Who knew?
All right.
Who
Next
knew?
one. Now, this one, I was actually surprised, had some writing credits to her. Jan Durisma, who did a lot of cover artists and penciling, but she also was a co-author with Ostrander on Legacy Broken, Ghost, Ready to Die, Claws of the Dragon, and Vector, the parts of Vector that were in Legacy.
Sorry.
So where will we put her?
S.
Really, S tier.
Yeah, those are the best Ostrander arcs ever. So, you know.
I was gonna put A tier.
Yeah, I'd go A, and I agree with Son of Luke, by the way. About
Yeah,
that.
art 100%. She's with Dorman.
Oh,
In
sure.
art.
In art, yeah.
But we're not grading her for art, so I would
Right.
say A.
A tier, yeah.
Okay.
By the way,
If we're
Matt,
grading her for art, she gets S.
Oh, yeah, totally. By the way, happy National Twins Day, Matt.
Oh, thank you. Hey, to be honest, who else would get an S? Dave Dorman would get an S for me, and I think Cam Kennedy would.
Who did KOTOR in the art?
Don't know.
I don't
My
remember.
artist, I'm very bad at.
Yeah, same. Like that's my favorite Star Wars art ever. is KOTOR.
Dersima is one of the few artists I know in the expanded universe.
Matt
comic books.
Bush, who is a novel, he did the cover for Tales from the Republic, but he's done a bunch of art relative to the EU that's not in comic form. That's made. I think he's actually my favorite EU. Well, not my favorite Star Wars artist, but he's only done one thing for books anyway.
All right, next we have a possibly easy one in Jason Hall. Again, couldn't find an image online of this guy. Wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 issues for Star Wars Tales. Also wrote Clone Wars Adventures, One of a Kind, Chain of Command, and he also did the Hasbro Toys R Us exclusive comics.
Yes.
Full Surprises, Most Perilous Weapon, Practice Makes Perfect, Machines of War.
Which, anyway, those are weak.
F.
Y'all hate Tales.
No, I agree. I'm agreeing with Chris. I thought those exclusive comic books, those toy comic books, were super weak.
Yeah.
It took zero effort.
Where are you? All right, next we got Jeremy Barlow. Wrote a lot of stuff.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Two issues in Tales, Boba Fett Overkill, a few in the Star Wars Adventures, as well as Clone Wars, and then he also read a big bit for Empire 23, 29 to 34, Rebellion, and the Rebellion Small Victories arc.
It's interesting. I don't know anyone's views on Empire. I like that whole series. What do you guys think?
He wrote the In the Shadows of Their Fathers arc.
And that's one of the best. That's one of the best arcs in there.
Are we okay with giving them a B?
I'm okay with
Sure.
it.
Okay, let's answer Chris's question about Empire. What'd you think about it?
Empire has some of the highest. It was the reason I thought the Rebellion era was my favorite era of Star Wars in like middle school and first part of high school.
That's high praise.
But at the same time, the lows are very low in it.
Okay. High peaks, but yeah.
When it turned to Rebellion, it sort of falls apart. Small Victories tried to redeem it, but when it tied into Vector, it killed the series.
Okay, interesting.
All right.
You hate Vector, though. Anyway, go ahead.
Should I just start putting the Tales people in F tier? Because this is another one.
Please
Jim
do.
Pasco, just two
Done.
Tales comics.
Done.
All
Thank
right.
you for
Couple of them
doing that.
might end up in the D category.
I don't need to waste any more time with these people. Keep going.
John Jackson Miller, where are we putting him? Just comics.
B,
I would agree with that. Yeah.
because of KOTOR is fantastic, but you have to calculate in Knight Errant and Lost Tribe of the Sith.
What was like Lost Tribe of the Sith?
Spiral, because that was a comic and it was really not good.
Dang it.
This is shocking.
But he
'cause
did. Go ahead.
On the last one we talked about, we kind of dinged him as a novel writer, but we thought, well, we're going to give him high marks here. This is shocking.
You see,
I would say definitely not S tier. I could maybe be convinced of A tier.
I could too. I mean, I would.
But I'm leaning towards B.
I think that he wrote so many more KOTOR comics that to judge him on a handful, you are absolutely correct about Lost Tribe and Knight Errant.
what you have to understand,
Those are small compared to all his contributions to an excellent Knights of the Old Republic series.
think of it this way, Matt. If the EU had been continued, we didn't have the Disney buyout, we would have so many Knight Errant comics at this point. There would be an equal.
I don't know about that. The thing with the problem with Knight Errant was the protagonist, the main character, was awful, was boring, was vanilla. That's the one flaw about that, because the storyline that was around it was interesting. Unfortunately, the person whose eyes we have to see it through was just horrible. You had no connection to that character. And then Lost Tribe of the Sith was just, it was what, in addition to some free ebooks, it's hard to be judgmental to that. It's true, I wasn't impressed by that as well, but everything he did for Knights of the Old Republic, I'm really impressed with that series. But if we're gonna go with B, let's go with B.
I don't know. Chat says A.
Chat says A because the chat's smart. They agree with me.
I will accept it. Okay with that.
I'm drinking Tab, for crying out loud. We need to have him as an A.
Tab, wow.
Hold on.
I know. I didn't even know that they made it, and I found it at the superstore. I was like, I'm getting me some.
Wow.
It tastes like Diet Coke. Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Just in a pink can. I feel so manly.
Next,
right,
we got John Wagner. He wrote Boba Fett, 1.5 Salvage, Boba Fett, Death, Lies, and Treachery, Boba Fett, Enemy of the Empire, the Jabba Tape, Empire 7 Sacrifice, and the Shadows of the Empire comics.
Yeah.
Straight up B.
B. Wow, I was going to go C.
Boba Fett, Death, Lies, and Treachery is incredible. And I consider it the definitive post-Jedi Boba Fett
Here's my deal. I would say C.
comic.
However, every one of those Boba Fetts I read, I was worried, and they didn't ruin Boba Fett in it. So, Chris, what do you say, though? I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I'm feeling really generous tonight. I'm on the fence too, but I'd say B. I don't know. I mean, some of those more obscure Boba Fett ones and the Jabba tape don't get a lot of love, but I think they're fine. And the Shadows stuff, yeah, I don't know. I'd say B minus.
Uzeb gives John Wagner a B or a C, so I think he's on the same page as I am. In fact, Uzeb and Son of Luke say that Jeremy equals unpopular opinion. I want to know where Pip is. Where's Pip?
I know.
Pip should be talking smack to Jeremy right now.
So we're going with B then?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So next we
I'm
have
fine with it. Go ahead.
Justin Acklin, author of Clone Wars Defenders of the Lost Temple and Clone Wars The Smuggler's Code. I keep saying author, writer.
It's
D.
fine. D.
I'm being nice. I'm not giving him an F.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you say?
I think that's fair. I think
F
that's
is
Chris,
for F is for tails, I guess.
Chris, if you fight for an F, I'm with you, brother.
No, I mean,
Okay.
I'm a little biased with those. I think we all are because they're not the micro series digests. They're the sort of the pretenders to the throne, and D's fine with me.
Okay, we're going D. I would back you if you said F.
I want to reserve that for the truly, truly, truly awful. But
So am I good to just put Kevin J. Anderson in S tier, or do we need to talk about this?
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about. Hold on. First off, Tales of the Jedi. When he took over for Veach, he did a fantastic job, and actually the series catapulted even better. And then his hat trick was coming back years later and doing Redemption, something I was dead set against. Even with Kevin J. Anderson's name attached to it, I thought it was a huge mistake. I loved how the original Tales of the Jedi ended. I did not want to hear about something called Redemption, where Eula Keldroma gets redeemed. I said, this is awful. and it ended up being even better ending for a series that I thought was already good. That was an incredible feat. I am biased that I like Kevin Janderson, but does anyone? Are you serious? Is everyone giving him a D right now?
We're just talking. How
That's shocking.
Why?
Redemption is the best It's like the
Can I-
best comic series.
can I curse
How
on
can you
this?
say? What other things are you judging a D from? Because Tales of the Jedi is honestly one of my favorite comic books.
I mean,
Am
even like
allowed to swear on here because Dylan already did earlier.
Go ahead.
I censored myself.
No, you didn't.
Go ahead.
What the fuck is the matter with you?
I mean, okay, sure.
Yeah,
You're gonna
understand
count.
that.
Are you gonna count him down for Tales of the Jedi?
Oh,
sorry,
they're saying
Jedi
that was
Academy
for the last guy. That was for the
Oh.
last guy. I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm
counting?
sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say. Did you really think Leviathan was so bad that it brought down to like?
I liked
D?
Leviathan.
I
I don't
did
think it was
too.
the best thing, but I liked it.
Literally, Leviathan. I read that before Jedi Academy, and it's like, okay, I need to go and let me read this trilogy of novels.
I enjoyed Leviathan. I don't think it was his best thing, but I enjoyed it. And to be honest, yeah, he's an S. Let's move on.
All right.
Everyone agrees, though. Everyone said that was for the last guy, so I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, we were. I was pretty sure, but I
just
wanted to
shocked
make sure.
me. It just shocked me for a minute.
All right. Next, we have Kevin Rubio. Another. So he did Tales, but he also did Tag. Oh, hold on. He also did Tag of Bank and Clone Wars Bomb Bad Jedi.
Oh, well, that's an F for me.
F.
Chris even left, so that's an F.
Here's a drinking game for you all. Every time Dylan says there's a Tales author,
Look, I added them because people, if you want to play at home, you can, and I'm sure someone loves these Tales authors, so they'll put them up there.
I can't wait till someone makes the video about all the writers that Dylan missed here.
Dylan,
Okay. To be honest, I told Dylan to drop a bunch of them off. He had texted me about this earlier, and I said no. I said drop a bunch of those people off. We are not doing every author unless there's someone we have grievously missed who did an excellent series or excellent couple of books. We are not going to cover him.
All right. Next is Louise Simpson. She did 56. Star Wars issue 56, Coffin in the Clouds, 57, Hello Bestman, Goodbye, River of Chaos, and The Rise of a Hero. Old Marvel writer. C. Wow, I was gonna say D.
I was going to say D too. Run it by Chris though. I'm fine with whatever Chris decides.
Smack down to a D. I wouldn't mind.
Louise Simpson, Chris.
Okay.
Star Wars issue 56, 57, Rivers of Chaos, and The Rise of a Hero.
Oh. There's no consensus. I'll join the consensus on the old Marvel stuff, honestly, on the
Okay, D.
D.
Yeah. I agree. What's next, Dylan?
Mark, I believe that's Evanir. Yeah.
The Tales?
Yes.
Okay, F. Love it. Keep going. I'm going to have to put her down in a minute, so give me something that y'all can talk about.
Mark Schultz. Let me find him.
Tales?
So he wrote Star Wars 13 to 17. He wrote the Emissaries to Malstar. Oh wait, no. Sorry, he was cover artist. He wrote Episode 1, Clean Amadal, and Tales. I think that's another actor.
You mentioned the Phantom Menace Adventures, and it automatically gets an F on my book.
I want the Fs to equal the Ds. Let's keep going.
Next, we have Mary Jo Duffy. She wrote, a lot of old classic Star Wars.
She held the candle for the Marvel Marvel series as it ended, even though her stuff was not as shining as the rest. I would like to say a B.
A.
Yeah, she wrote everything from 70
That's
to
nice.
107, and she wrote 24 Silent Drifting. You would say A. I would agree with Matt on B.
I will explain why A. She tried. She tried really hard in a time of diminishing sales. Can you imagine how miserable that is? You're entrusted with this beloved property, but it's dying. So you're trying as hard as you can to like keep the fire going, and it's just slowly going out.
I completely agree with that, but I also think her stories were not as good. So I'm going to give her a B, but I completely agree with everything you said. Chris?
Yeah, exactly. I totally hear you, Jeremy, and I love her for everything she tried to do. But I'd say B.
I do too.
So this next
A
guy
lot of
is
people were saying B.
This next guy is the exception to the rule. So I said in order to get on this list, you had to contribute to at least 2 different comic issues. This person.
Wait a minute, but Andy Mangels only contributed to 1.
No, that was a series.
No, Twin Engines of Destruction was a one-shot.
Destruction is a one-shot.
It was a one-shot? I think he did Tales as well.
No, he didn't.
No,
he only wrote 1.
Engines of Destruction.
No, but I want him on there because I thought it was a great comic book. Okay,
well,
so go ahead.
The other one that I thought deserved a pass was Matthew Rosenberg, simply because he is the man who continued the EU.
S.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unequivocally.
Say what?
No, unequivocally. I mean, there's no debate.
S?
Yeah.
I was going to say
was good.
I was going to say A based on our rules, but to be honest, he continued Legends. You're correct.
It was
S.
Okay, I'm getting outvoted here, I guess.
I'm gonna. Where would you have ranked him, Dylan?
I would have put A, B.
Wow, really? Why?
Hold on. Say why. I'm gonna put this one down.
Yeah.
A because 108 was great. B because he only had the 1.
Oh, yeah,
there's potential for a 109. Come on.
All right. Well, I guess I'm getting outvoted. So
but I'm curious though. But you didn't have any problems with it though, right?
I didn't, because I'm not as familiar with the old Marvel stuff. But I came into it and I felt like I wasn't lost. So I maybe I didn't have that much of a connection to it as you guys have, who actually like trudged through not only trudged through, but got through all the old Marvel stuff, all of it, not just like the highlight reel like I did.
Yeah, the highlight reel is completely. That is a long comic series to go through.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dylan was wrong.
That's interesting. There's a really weird variance here. Uzab says C or D for Rosenberg. I'm just shocked. I mean, I'm really interested to know what people think. But
I am interested to know why a C or a D, because here's the deal. Okay, we're saying S because he continued Legends. Okay, let's say that this came out before Legends stopped. Okay, if you did that, in my honest opinion, I would have given him a B. I still wouldn't have given him a C or D.
No,
and here's why. Here I'm saying that if the old canon was still around, and then 20 or something years later he came out with 108, I still give it a B. And here's why I do it: because I think it gave us a better ending for that Marvel series, which really didn't have that solid an ending.
Right.
It also connected a lot of EU in that one book. There's a lot of things to be applauded. I mean, that book shocked me. It was better than I thought it would be.
Yep.
It wasn't just a continuation of the Marvel series, folks. This was a continuation of Legend stories, and they knew full well what they were doing. In fact, I'm not going to give anything away on this Nightcap, but you want to tune in to my channel Monday. You don't want to miss Monday's post. I'm going to wow your friggin' socks off on Monday. That's all I'm saying. The thing is, though, that he continued, that they got Legends continued just for that one comic book, to me, that deserves an S. And if you were to ask me, Matt, what if that wasn't significant? Okay, he would still at least get a B from me, but I would never give him a C or a D. Never.
I would argue that it would be an S no matter what, because it's very difficult to match the tone and style of a type of writing that hasn't been touched in decades.
Yeah.
Also, it felt like an Archie Goodwin comic to me.
I think it stayed true to Marvel as well. I agree with that.
And to me, that is incredibly challenging, and it deserves to be an S tier no matter what.
I just think it was perfect. In addition to saying, to doing all the things that you said, Matt. So I'd love if people in the chat had a quick thing to say about like why a C or a D? Like what? Like it's
Yeah.
clearly the case. There must be things you didn't like about it, right? And I'm wondering what that is.
And I'm fine hearing it, but
yeah, I'd love to hear it. But,
I also know that you look at Matthew Rosenberg's interviews, and the man had a true love for the Marvel series, and it showed.
it shows, yeah.
And his thing, like when I first heard about 108, I was very skeptical about this Matthew Rosenberg. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know if he was going to do it justice. And then when I read that one interview with him, I was like, this looks, I think I even told you this, Chris. I said, this sounds like a pretty solid guy. And I got really, really excited about it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So
okay,
I can appreciate that S maybe by the rules of our game is a little crazy, but again, I wouldn't go lower than an A. So.
Okay.
Official Ravelets, watch the last Nightcap, because the last Nightcap we did the novels.
Yes.
Or we did the author. Sorry.
Yusuf said he didn't get to read the Marvel comic book, so he just didn't get to read it. But now he agrees, and that's fine. That's fine. Yusuf. If you didn't read the Marvel comic books, then yeah, I can see why you wouldn't appreciate 108 as much.
Fair enough. Yeah.
No, that's very fair. Okay.
Possible D or F tier, because I didn't like this one. Matt Kent, author of Star Wars Rebel Heist.
F.
Oh.
D. Was not impressed with that.
F, but it wasn't crap though, was it? I mean,
yeah, that's why.
But it wasn't that. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever read.
It was forgettable. If it was forgettable, then that's the D tier.
Well, unfortunately, it was literally forgettable thanks to when the timing occurred.
Well, yeah,
true. It was dead in the water.
I'm just amazed how many Fs are here because I mean,
it's because I'm feeling cranky tonight, Chris.
No, it's funny. Sorry. I mean, no, fair enough. I mean, I really feel like Fs is like it's toxic. Don't go back, right? But I mean, it's
okay. Well, if you want to defend it, Dylan obviously doesn't want to put it F. He's putting it D, even though I told him F.
I thought it was forgettable. It's not tail
F for forgettable. I'm kidding. Go ahead. I don't care. I did think it was a waste of comic book paper. Go ahead.
All right. Next, Mike Barron. He did the Thrawn trilogy comic. He did the Thrawn trilogy comics and the Rebel Opposition arc of Rogue Squadron with Stackpole. Or actually, I think he did those on his own.
No, he didn't with Stackpole.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. He has Stackpole.
B.
Okay.
I was rereading these Thrawn trilogy adaptations the other night, and they're actually not too bad. To me, it was a nice sort of supplement to the Thrawn trilogy novels at the time, and I think they're very definitive of early Dark Horse.
I know Matt doesn't like the retreads.
No, I would go lower, but I'm fine with whatever y'all decide.
Yeah, me too. I have no recollection of those adaptations. I didn't take them too seriously.
What about the X-Wing?
So, hold on, Chris. Where would you rank that? And the X-Wing storyline.
X-Wing, the Rebel Opposition.
The first storyline in Rogue Squadron.
I'd say I wasn't impressed with the Thrawn trilogy comics either, but I hear good things about Rogue Squadron. Unfortunately, I've read those comics. So you're saying, Jeremy, B?
Yes.
I'm going to say C just to give a vote.
Yeah, I don't care in this case.
I don't think anyone cares, so if you want to give him a B, that's fine. I don't think the chat room cares either, which means he should be a C, but go ahead.
All right, next we've got Mike Richardson, co-author with Randy Stradley on the Crimson Empire trilogy.
Oh. Wait. Say that again.
Mike Richardson, who co-wrote with Randy Stradley the Crimson Empire trilogy.
Actually, I take that back. I just remember Crimson Empire 3.
Right. The whole thing, yeah.
C.
C?
Because
you didn't say C, did you?
Yes.
No. Lowest I'd go is a B.
Crimson Empire is fantastic. Crimson Empire 2 is mediocre, and Crimson Empire 3 is a pile of anal waste.
I agree with you on 3.
It's C.
So do you want to say B?
I'll say B.
I'll keep mine as C.
Yeah, wow. I wouldn't go lower than a B. But again, this is one of these cases where it's like, if there's a technicality, if we have to sort of like distribute the value across the whole, because Crimson Empire 1 is
wonderful.
the cream of the crop, right? Yeah. Although, again, I'm influenced by the art there more than anything, probably.
But the storyline of Crimson Empire 1 is really good because Crimson Empire 2 has fine art. It's just not a good story. Also, it was that weird time when Kevin J. Anderson was trying to do that weird like Sith event thing that ended up becoming New Jedi Order. That was like, that's where you see that sort of thing starting to happen, which doesn't really work to me.
Well, Yusub's agreeing with you. He's saying B or C.
That's shocking. Matt, you haven't weighed in. I mean, I like I said, I wouldn't go lower than a B. I think Crimson Empire. I have very good feelings about the whole thing, regardless of how.
Yeah, I think Crimson Empire. If it was just Crimson Empire 1, he'd be SA. But because of 3, the lowest he gets down is a B.
What do you say, Matt?
I'll go B.
B it is.
Okay.
Mike Kennedy, writer of Underworld, the Yavin Basilica, and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, the Orient Express comic series. Wow.
F. I wouldn't say F. Orient Express was not that good.
Now there was the Yavin Basilica.
Underworld was okay, but still not that good. Chris, where would you put it?
Yeah, I think that's Rebel Heist territory.
Well, I did say F for Rebel Heist, but D.
Yeah, I'd say D.
I'd agree with D.
And the D hits 2 rows.
2 rows.
I knew D was going to be a big hit here.
And it's weird because, it's funny. Like, yeah, like I'm pretty unobjective. Like, I like it all, but it's just like I'm just really trying to rank these relative to others, right? It's like it's really far from, say, Crimson Empire 1 or something. That's all, so.
All right, move on.
All right, so next we got Mike W. Barr. He did Star Wars 49 of The Last Jedi, Rogue Squadron 1/2, and he also did Requiem for a Rogue with Stackpole.
Who is this again?
And War on the Jundland Wastes. Mike W. Barr.
D. Although the War on the Jundland Wastes actually is probably the best thing he's written, that could almost bump it to a C, but the rest of it puts it at a D.
I'll go C.
Chris?
Yeah, I'd say C. You said he did the Last Jedi issue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that is Miles Lane. Let me look him up.
Is this a Tales person?
It may be. He's also a no picture. Wrote Brothers in Arms and the Revenge of the Sith comic adaptation.
F.
D.
F. F.
Why so strident? I'd say, D's fine with me.
All right.
I agree, son of Luke. We need more C's.
Yeah, that's shocking.
We need more Fs.
There's no real distribution.
Yeah, we have. We're putting all like the. I guess it's the. Okay, well, the top end of the spectrum is about to get another visitor because we're at John Ostrander now.
S.
That's
next.
Even it made my probably the best Star Wars comic series, Dawn of the Jedi. One of Matt's favorites.
See, here's the thing. Dawn of the Jedi was actually getting good at the end.
I know.
The comic book from Dawn of the Jedi, I didn't mind, but it ended real quickly. And I'm listening from a little girl. Anyway, it ended very quickly. It was developing. It wasn't great. It was developing into something that was interesting. Unfortunately, it didn't finish. So I cannot say if that was bad or good.
It's just like the novel.
No, it's not like the novel.
No.
Novel's garbage.
Novel's
The comic book was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, but it had some interesting hooks that I was like, okay, I'm interested where to see this goes. I wasn't enthralled by it, but because of John Ostrander, I was giving it a shot. I was giving it a choice. I was like, okay, I'm interested.
All right.
But but you know, the story about the Rakata and how they were going to go extinct was kind of hinted, and I was really interested in hearing about that. But we didn't get to see it, so we don't know how it would have been. But John Ostrander, S all day.
I mean, we have some idea of what happened if you played the first KOTOR game. They really talk about that. And the Starforge.
Well, maybe when we do a video about video games, we'll mention that. Sure.
Well, that would just be every Dark Forces game gets an S, and the Force Unleashed gets an
Where's Pip to give me my favorite line?
What happened to him? What happened to him? Yeah.
All right. So next we've got just making sure. Yep. Next we got Pat Mills. He wrote Star Wars the Infinity's End arc for Republic.
Oh, Infinity's End. I do believe I liked that when I read it,
I don't remember it.
but I'm not remembering it either. This is not good.
Go.
Let me pull
Does
up
anyone remember it?
Hang on. Let me do a quick Google search.
Quinlan Voss.
Oh, you said it. You said it. It gets at least gets a C. It's not Christy Golden, Quinlan Voss.
Yeah, I debated jumping on this because, yeah, it's hard to remember all of these things, particularly when we're talking about like Marvel 13 or something. This is tough. I just have good feelings about the Republic series in general, as most people do. So that's the most I can contribute. But by the way, Jeremy said something that reminded me why I wanted to jump on, which is just to defend Force Unleashed.
Thank you.
The one thing I'll say is it stretches, and when it came out, it stretched the lore to the absolute breaking point. I totally get that, and it was bizarre, but the C canon stuff about it, I think, is great. I love the books, and we talked about the comics. So again, I can see both sides. So there you go.
So are we thinking C then, just to populate C tier?
Yeah. I just looked up what it was, and I really did enjoy it. Yeah, it's a C.
Okay. Next, we've got Paul Chadwick. He did Empires 8 through 11, The Darklighter, and the Short Happy Life of Rune Swell.
That'd be a C.
Another C?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be a C. And that also kind of has to do with the Darklighter storyline being delayed so much. Kind of taints the palette a little bit. You know.
There you go. All right, C. We'll see. We're getting more C's.
Next, we have Peter Bag Two Tails failing up with Jar Jar Binks and Nobody's Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Who wrote the George R.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Given an F. Let's keep going.
That feels good.
Oh, it feels so good. Let's do another F. Do it. Bring it.
Well,
Bring
Randy
it, Dylan.
Stradley's the next one.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Because he not only did he write Crimson Empire, he also wrote 86, The Alderaan Factor, and Dark Times issues 1 through 17, it looks like, as well as Empire 5, The Princess Warrior, To the Last Man, Alone Together, and The Wrong Side of the War. He also wrote Jedi Council, Acts of War, Republic 67, Forever Young, 79, and 80, Into the Unknown. And he also wrote, you're right, he did write one for Tales.
Wow.
B.
And he wrote The Bounty Hunters, B.
B.
A.
I like him, but
It is,
I think a lot of those are meh.
but it's such a diverse palette.
I totally agree, Jeremy. Yeah.
Yeah, A.
Yeah, I'd say
Wow,
A is
usually puts
flat.
him as an S.
I wouldn't go that high. But I'd push for A because I had no idea he jumped around that much.
He said,
Okay.
I know he wrote Agent of the Empire, but I forgive him. Man, that is exactly how I
Okay, let
feel.
me get my
And he should be
soapbox.
ranked. He should be ranked a B because of that.
He should be ranked an S because of that, because that is a very awesome 2 storylines that are getting reprinted this coming year. Agent of the Empire is like in my heart. I love
Son
that.
of Luke would go A for Randy. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Chris, are you feeling Randy?
yeah, I do, and I also like Dark Empire more than most people too.
All right. A.
All right. Next, we have Rick Veitch, not to be confused with Tom Veitch. Wrote Star Wars issues 40 through 44, basically The Empire Strikes Back. Classic Star Wars Empire Strikes Back 1 and 2. Looks like, just a lot of the Empire Strikes Back stuff.
He just repeated something he already did.
C.
F.
C.
Chris?
Yeah, I'd go pretty low. I'd go pretty low for this.
C or D then?
Retread. D for the retread. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Never get that F to 2 tiers. Okay, keep going.
We're pretty close.
You really hate the comic artists. All right, next is
I'm just. Some of these did not contribute that well. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
I thought the stories were meh.
Next, this is kind of an obscure one. Rick Hoskin. He wrote a ton of comics for the UK.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Inside Job in Triplicate. Well, Matt's probably the only one who's actually read these. In Triplicate, Foreclosure Suited, Prize Contender in the Air, Dugout, Outgunned, Leisure, Fashion Out. The Fear Architects Frozen Out, Dead Shadows, The Collector, Power Down, Seeds, Update, Labyrinth, Repairs, and My Spaceship, My Enemy.
I've never read any of this, so I abstain from voting because that's not fair.
Matt, you're going to be the only one who knows what any of those are. What do you think? F?
They were short stories. They weren't that memorable, sadly. So
D then?
I don't want to do D. I want to do F.
But F is like real bad. F is like
fine. You people are just bleeding hearts of the world unite. Go ahead.
Is that Boomer talk?
Well,
I just watched The Grinch, Jim Carrey. Bleeding hearts of the world unite. All right, go ahead. You people have too much sensitivity toward these writers.
Actually,
keep going. Next.
Dylan,
Robert.
Crooked?
Nope. So
I want to ask a question. Is
Etherington-
Ryder Wenham on this list?
I don't think so.
What?
Why not?
Why?
Did he do comics?
Yes.
Dylan!
I didn't see him on the list.
Oh my god.
He's not categorized in Wikipedia. Is that where you're getting your list from, Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me add him.
What a bunch of horse shit.
The man was chief editor for Dark Horse for a while, for crying out loud. Goodness gracious.
I'm adding him.
Dad, I'm so sorry if this tarnishes your friend.
Hey, there's a guy that does reviews on YouTube, and he's reviewed some of Ryder Wenham's comic books, just to let you know.
You're doing a great job, Dylan. Don't worry about it.
I mean, that 2 is great.
Those Clone War magazines from the UK, no one really talks much about. I mean, you've reviewed some of them, Matt. Or you
yeah, I have. I to be honest, they're just little stories. The thing is, it's so nice to get them. It was so nice to get them, and that they weren't that. I have to be honest with myself; they weren't that good, But it was nice to get them. But I can't let that overshadow. Like on my calendar, I write things that I did last year, and as of December 18th of last year, it said, Read Star Wars Drone Alone, Unknown EU ! So, I mean, look at that. That's kind of weird, but that's when I got to read some Unknown EU to me. And
that's like when I first got a hold of Jedi Prince in hardcover. Like, I didn't know that existed, like those 6 books. Because they're not fantastic reads, but they're just, I like them because they're bizarre and don't make a whole lot of sense. And we all know that I love the weird Star Wars. It's kind of nonsensical. I mean, that's why I love Alan Moore so much.
Okay.
But
yeah. Is he on there now, Dylan?
Doesn't look like it.
Wait, did Dylan freeze? Oh,
Nope.
He's still there.
No.
He's just staring at us.
Whoa, what
Here
was
we
that?
go. He's been added.
Oh, great.
All right.
Thank God. Where'd the F tier go? Where's the F tier? Dylan, what have you done?
It's okay.
This is not
Hold
okay.
on.
He did it on purpose.
Nope. I can fix it.
Fill that
I
F
know
tier up, baby.
I know where we were.
This is.
Keep going.
I've never seen something
More
like
F.
this before. This is like some sort of oh god.
All right. Anyway,
Bro,
Robert Etherington, another guy. He did a lot of short stories for Titans Monthly, all Clone Wars stuff. So it's and it's late Clone Wars, so 2010 to 2014. So it's like TCW stuff.
Yeah.
F or D.
F F F
F.
F.
That's not. What do we put the other guy at? What do we put the other UK Clone Wars guy at?
F.
Really?
We put him at F.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's fair. Then.
No, I don't know what we did. It doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah.
Just keep going.
Ron Mars.
Ooh.
Oh.
Now, remind me about his EU contributions, because I'm thinking about his DC contributions, and I really love them.
Empire 19 through
That's right.
28. Darth Maul, and he did Tales, Darth Vader, Extinction, and Resurrection. He also did Jango Fett and Zam Wessel.
B.
B.
B. That Darth Maul
Chris?
comic is incredible.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Zam
everything.
Wessel was really good.
Yeah, and again, I like Empire.
That is okay.
I like him. I do like him as a DC author.
And his Tales story doesn't make me want to drink. That was actually a good Tales story.
All right. Next, we've got Roy Thomas, the man who started it all. Did issues 0 through 10 of the original Marvel Star Wars.
F.
There was an issue 0.
Yeah.
If there is, I've never read it unless there was a guide.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. I've never.
Are you sure you're talking Marvel Star Wars, or are you talking Dark Horse Star Wars? Is Brian Wood on this list?
No.
I thought Brian Wood gets put in the a category below F.
I think
Star
Brian-
Wars was like a Dark Horse little.
I think I saw Brian Wood, and he only did like one thing.
That series is not C canon.
It doesn't matter. That series belongs in a sewer.
Star Wars 0 was a Dark Horse comic.
Yeah, it's a.
You're talking about the original Dark Horse run with Kiadi Mundi.
No, it's a little one-off collection.
Yeah, but he did write Star Wars issue 1 for
No,
Marvel. Roy Thomas.
okay. Well, what do y'all want to get? Y'all want to give him a D? I already know it. Go ahead.
C.
What? Chris, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this. This did convince people outside of North America to go see the movie, right?
That's true.
Which is so maybe C.
Okay.
All right. Goes into C. Ryan Kaufman. He did a lot for the video games, but he had some comics under his belt. He wrote Clone Wars Adventures.
Okay, just Clone Wars Adventures?
Yeah, he wrote The Package, Orders, and Spy Girls.
I put him at a C.
What?
I love those Clone Wars Adventures.
Yeah.
They're
Right,
adult-
fine.
Okay.
The original one, right? The original 10, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Oh, he did the okay. Never mind.
I
I thought he was talking about something else. Then yes.
We're not
I'm fine
talking
with
Filoni here.
Yeah, those weird ones. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a consensus for B, and I think I like that. I love those little things.
B?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I personally go even higher for the whole package. But if we're just thinking of the stories, the writing,
You have some agreements in B.
yeah.
All right. Going up to B.
Okay.
Now, this guy's name cut off, so I have to go and see who this is. Unless someone recognizes who that is.
I don't.
Scott O'Leal.
Would
I am
From there, he looks like Stephen Baldwin, but from Biodome.
I'm so glad someone else remembers Biodome. That's me.
He did Tales 11, Empire Betrayal, Issue 50, Republic Defense of Camino, 30, Empire 31, The Price of Power, and Star Wars Jedi: The Dark Side.
See,
Where did he come from? This is such a random little.
Yeah, he's got like his foot in like everything, but like he dipped his toe
across the series. Yeah. Well, C, I guess, because of the breadth, but it's not super memorable. I don't know. I mean,
okay. Scott Tolson. Where is this guy? We've probably inadvertently like trashed. Why does it just say he wrote some of the X-Wing comic series with Stackpole? Which ones?
Because a lot of people helped Stackpole out with this comic.
At the beginning, yeah.
When are we getting to Zahn?
Zahn didn't do comics, did he?
Zahn wrote Mara Jade by the Emperor's Hand with Michael Stackpole.
I think that was like one.
It was 6 issues technically.
Okay, so the Wikipedia list on authors
Okay, hold on. Let's stick with this author. Give this author a ranking real quick, and we can move on.
So yeah, wrote some X-Wings with Stackpole.
C.
All right, Sergio Gurnas. I remember this guy. He did.
We don't care about him.
You don't?
No, Infinities. If we're talking about Mad Magazine, then he's an S, but not.
I completely agree, but Chris, they're ranking Infinities people as D's right now.
No, that's an outrage. That's an outrage. So
can we now downgrade them all to F, please?
Please. No, well, they're off the list. I don't think we should even talk about them, but whatever.
That's what I said.
See,
that's what I said. Jeremy, I swear to you, you were here as a guest only.
Jeremy's just here to. All right, so we got a couple good ones. Where are we putting Stackpole? F. Got it.
Don't you do it? Don't you do it?
All right, where are we putting Stackpole?
At least an A.
Yeah, yeah.
If not an F.
Besides Rogue Squadron, what else do you do?
Mara Jade by the Emperor's Hand.
Keep going.
Union.
B. I'm having flashbacks to reading that.
Which one?
Union. For those of you who
Battle for Thea as well.
B.
Chris, what are you saying?
B.
AB bubble is fine.
Does Union bring him
I'm fine with that too.
Down to a B?
Yes.
All right.
Union served as a purpose to add Phantom Menace aliens into the post Jedi. That's it.
Dylan, I dropped a list of categorized comic authors on Wikipedia that don't show up on the first category page. So like W's and Z's, so like Zahn, Wyndham, and over there.
Okay, so that's where I missed them. Okay. Yes, you're right. There's another page. There's 3. Yeah, there's 9 that are on this list. Oh well. Steve Perry, where are we putting him?
Yeah.
Just did Shadows of the Empire, yeah. C?
Yeah. Sure. Oh, you could even bump it to a D. Shadows of the Empire Evolutions is really not good. Sorry, I puked in my mouth thinking about it.
I agree with that.
D?
Yeah, I could go with it. I mean, if we were grading on covers, it'd get mad.
All right.
I have a message from Brian. We should rank Stackpole at least a C, probably lower.
Yeah, Brian probably. Brian told me F actually. Yeah,
He did. I'm
Yeah.
fine with Stackpole as an F.
yeah.
I'm not
I
fine.
want to do
Yeah,
that.
Brian does not like Stackpole. He's told me that.
No,
Least favorite
Yeah.
comic and particularly novel writer.
vehemently against him.
Yeah. It's like oh gosh, I'm trying to think of another terrible author. It's like I'm sorry, I can't think of anyone. Oh, Karen Miller. Yeah,
All right, where are we putting? Terry Austin wrote Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
oh, the comic adaptation.
Yeah.
D, if not an F.
Thank you, F.
It's not a good comic adaptation. The only thing going for it is it has unique art.
Chris.
I think Dave Filoni likes that cover too. So
Yes.
F.
sure.
So-
Oh, well, no. That's I don't know. I'm opposed. I think F should really be things that are
Yeah, I believe.
embarrassing.
I think that was a total hit and miss, though.
Yeah, but the
Was
art,
it like? Was it Tim Levin bad?
Tim Levin's good? First of all,
It was Michael Stackpole bad, Brian, right?
would you call it a Chuck Wendig move?
No, I just think I'd file it under retread.
Mhm.
And leave it at that. So I put it at a lower tier, D. Dylan, that's what
Okay. That's where it is, I believe. That's where I put him. Yep. All right. Timothy Truman did Star issues 7 through 8. For Republic, did Outlander, Emissary, Tamal Star, Hunt for Aura Singh, and Bounty Hunters Aura Singh.
C, if not a B.
C.
C.
Okay.
All right. Next, we got Tom Taylor. Did Invasion, The Will of Darth Vader, Blood Ties. Honestly, I would put him in F just for Invasion.
Yeah, I would second that because Blood Ties isn't even that good either.
I'm real sorry, but I did not like Invasion at all.
Invasion's unbearable.
But what do you guys think?
F.
I'm just reading the comments right now, and everyone's like, "My God, you guys are just like brutal." And it's so,
I know they are brutal.
the distribution here is so.
This is messed up, but of course, I'm not saying I'm the biggest.
Okay, official Rave Blitz. Why do you like Invasion? Genuine question, not an attack.
I'm gonna.
Curious.
I'm gonna pick up, and I'm gonna say that Invasion suffered because Dark Horse acted way too late to get in the game.
Yep.
Well,
And it did feel shoehorned in. I'm not going to defend it to the nth degree, but Dark Horse should have gotten in the game when it was booming, and they could have had a New Jedi Order series going on during New Jedi Order. That this came out way after New Jedi Order and way after the fact, and just didn't feel like it connected. But the thing is, though, that's Dark Horse for some reason at the time. I still can't get the story straight here from anyone. But Dark Horse did not want to. Well, no, I kind of do know why. One of the editors did not want to work with the books. That's why they did things in different eras. They rarely did crossovers together. I don't know why, because books Kevin J. Anderson let the comic books into C canon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a debate very early if they were going to even be C canon, and Dark Horse thought they weren't. And then suddenly they're invited to the big party, and then they don't want to play nice with everyone else. And it's a shame, because if they could have gone with a New Jedi Order ongoing comic book at the time of New Jedi Order, the Red novels, it'd have been amazing.
I want to address the comments here. The thing with Invasion, yes, it is a visual representation of New Jedi Order. The problem with Invasion is its protagonists literally have nothing to do with the New Jedi Order story, and that's where it completely falls apart. You're shoehorning in characters to make them look awesome, and yeah, Luke is cool in New Jedi in the Invasion because Luke is cool in all of New Jedi Order. but these new characters that the solo twins are supposed to be like best friends with them never shown up before.
And don't show up after.
Yeah, they have no purpose to be in here. Just saying, like, there's no point. And Blood Ties, personally, I found to be just terrible Boba Fett stories. Absolutely terrible. Especially Boba Fett is dead. That just felt like a gimmick of a story.
All right.
So what did it end up as?
F.
Tom Taylor F.
That's shocking. I still think that's shocking. I just think
If you want to put him at a D, then put him at a D, Chris.
the only thing that's compelling about a super low score is that, okay, it's not his fault that it came bizarrely too late and completely missed the market opportunity. But I suppose it is compelling that having come late, it was up to him to make it worthwhile, right? And I think that's the most compelling point. But F, again, I'm weird. I just think F should be truly garbage tier, and I feel like it's a D. But I'll go on record as a protest. But you guys do whatever you want. But
Yuzib earlier said Jeremy equals unpopular opinion, but now he's agreeing with you.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Come full circle there.
thank you, Yuzib.
Whatever. I liked it better when you were making fun of Jeremy. Anyway, keep going. Next one. The Treasure of the Dragon Snakes
is not controversial at all. Tom Veach.
no, not controversial.
That's a joke that no one will understand, and chat will understand.
I would
Where are we
put
putting Tom Veach?
an A. If we're not judging him by his character, we're judging him by his work.
Yeah, that is.
I'm tempted to give him an S, but that's just me.
To me, it gets.
Hold on, I gotta get a girl. Keep talking.
To me, it doesn't quite make it to an S. His standpoint and what he did for the EU should be at an S.
Yeah.
But stuff like Empire's End is so rushed and so wonky and bad, it just gives me an A+. Not that.
Hold on, I had to come back here. I heard that garbage about Empire's End. That wasn't his fault.
No, in fact,
That
But
is not. He's getting an S now.
yeah. And this is
You just bumped into this because the thing is they cut his contract from 6 to 2.
I
He
was,
did the best he could. I agree with you. Empire's End is not that good, but the thing is though, it wasn't his fault.
and you know what? I'm on the bubble, so yeah, I'm fine with an S.
S tier.
Because
This is the man who wants to create everyone F's. So
yeah,
I
and
give
I,
an S.
yeah.
Matt, did your hair recede a little bit hearing that?
And yeah, anyway, Tom Veach. And there's more, and the fun thing is there's more Tom Veach out there than most people know, which is kind of exciting. So hint, hint, wink, wink. Hashtag don't talk
Nudge,
about
nudge,
this.
say no more.
Yeah, say no more. So
Actually, if you ask Dave Dorman, he'll tell you all.
yep, Dylan and I did. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm getting okay. I'm trying to get the others in here that I missed.
Okay, Veach is S. Forget that right now. Veach is S. We got
Yeah,
this.
Beach is
Yeah,
S. I'm okay with that. We need more S. Oh,
All right,
an A tied.
I know. It's very hard to get an S and A in this list. Okay, keep going.
All right, Tony Millionaire did 3 things for Tails.
I knew it. I knew you would put this creature in here.
F and
You want to?
move on.
You want to talk about this creature?
F and move.
Probably the
on.
worst thing that happened to Star Wars.
Next.
That wasn't Force Unleashed.
All right. Next is Walter Simpson. Sorry. Did Star Wars for Classic Marvel 56 through 65. Where are we putting him?
Could you repeat that?
I don't know. D. Because I don't know him.
Yeah.
C maybe, but you could convince him.
Flip a coin.
Sure. Yeah.
Where?
C or D?
Flip a coin.
D next.
Okay. Good.
I don't have a coin available.
Ryder Winham.
Matt's got some views.
A. I'm extremely biased. Ryder's a friend of mine.
I'll second that at A.
But the thing is, the care that Ryder took into each story and the study of continuity and making sure things connected is amazing. Hold on, Chris, give your thoughts for just a minute. I'm going to pick up my little girl.
Yeah, I think that would be the key for me, what Matt just said. So I'd go extremely high. I'd go at least an A. I wouldn't go lower than that.
Dylan,
Yeah.
are you going to add in those authors that are missing?
Yes, I am doing that. I'm in the process of doing that right now.
Thank you.
One you don't need to worry about, Brian Wood. He doesn't count.
Like I said, there should be an opposite category for Brian Wood, and that is a sewer.
It's just not relevant. It's just categorically not.
Well, also, I consider Brian Wood to just be one
Talking about Mr. Ryder
the whole time.
We're going to give him an A, even though people are saying S. Daddy, agree with that? You agree with that?
Tim,
What do we decide?
Tim, the S designation is sort of like, it's a combination of like, they did a ton of different things. There's like a lot of breadth in their work, but then it was all great, right? So it's the truly sort of like, not just superstar, but they did a ton of stuff. So like someone with this like one thing is not likely to get an S. Just a question about that.
Hey, Tim. All right. What did we pick on Ryder?
A.
I forgot what you guys said. I'd say A.
I said
A. Yeah.
A?
He's a great guy. A.
And Dylan's in the middle of adding the authors he missed right now. Or should I say writers? Does it even matter?
All right, back to here.
Okay.
Okay, there are. Hold on.
Hey, let's make a poopy diaper.
Rob Williams, Jim Wood.
Hey, make a big
So do you have any
diaper and we'll send it to Dylan.
comments on things we've already done? Since you came in late.
No, let's keep moving. Is there any? Are we done with them?
No, there's like 3 or 4 more, right?
Oh, right. The
Yeah.
ones you asked him to add. Okay. While he's doing that, we can go ahead and rank. Do you want to go ahead and rank Timothy Zahn because we know he's one of them?
Right.
Let's see. Martyred by the Emperor's Hand is not good.
Shockingly, I agree with that.
It's not, and like it should.
I agree.
The thing with, and I want to stress this to the audience, is that Timothy Zahn's written some of the best stuff, but he's also written half-assed garbage. And Martyred by the Emperor's Hand is the first step into the half-assed garbage.
This is exactly what we said last week when we did the novel stuff. Yeah, I mean the same verdict. Yeah.
Because I would rank it along with Allegiance and Choices of One, and especially Scoundrels, and then his new canon stuff as well. It's all like a cesspool of trash. It's like it belongs with that the monster in the trash compactor in the original Star Wars. It's
Yeah.
not good.
I think in this case, I mean, if we're just compartmentalizing the comic contribution, I think like C or D is fine. I mean, I don't know what the consensus is. C would be fine.
Only thing nice about that is we have a solo Mara Jade story.
Yusuf said it right. He's either C or D comic writer.
Well, that's right.
Talking
Exactly.
him as a comic book writer.
And
We don't
only thing going for that is its protagonist is Mara Jade, who's a fan favorite.
Look, Zahn's weird. Last week, I think we gave him like a B for books. He would get at least a C for me for this. He'd get an A for RPGs. It just depends, so.
Okay, so let's give him a C and move on. Good. We are grading him as a comic book writer. I just want everyone to know that.
Yeah.
As an author, he got an A, I think, right?
No, a B, I think.
Oh, as a writer, okay. So
I'm sure
I
this
could be
works.
wrong about that one.
yeah, but anyway, he's a better novel
So I gotta
writer
read
than
to all the
comic
F
book.
tier people.
Oh god, I gotta drink again for every single one.
And
Can you make a
technically,
poopy diaper
he
with
does
the baby
count.
oil?
So I did have to add him, but just in the sake of time, I will put Brian Wood in F tier.
F. Totally. Screw him. Totally. It's a total F. Garbage. It's not worth it.
Yes.
It's not even EU.
And you said Timothy Zahn was C tier?
I think so, yeah.
Yes. Keep going. Who are
All
the
right.
other two?
Rob Williams. He did
Cool.
he did 3 for Tales, but he also did Rebellion issues 1 through 10, and he did the first 2 he did Vector 7 and 8.
Is no one saying D right now?
D.
D?
Yeah.
Right. And
Son of Luke, the next tier list is children's books.
Ooh.
and then finally Jim Woodridge, I believe his name is.
Oh, did you do Judd Winnick yet?
Judd Winnick. Did I miss
Who
him?
is this? Who is this we're talking about right now? Who's this last
no,
one we're
he
talking
only
about?
did A Valentine Story.
Who's this?
You don't count him because you just did one.
Yeah.
For people that are old, like me and Matt, he was on the 2nd season of Real World. People might remember, or the 3rd.
Was he really?
Yeah, he had the San Francisco cast. So,
Oh, that's great.
All right, Jim Woodring. He did Life and Death of Living Force, Jabba the Hutt, the Gar Suppin hit Jabba the Hutt, Hunger of Princess Nampi, and Dynasty Trapped, and Jabba the Hutt Betrayal.
Man.
D or F?
No, he's not an F. I'm even going to say
Yeah.
him from F status.
Most of this is stuff I don't
It's
remember.
weird that they went for Jabba the Hutt stories back then. They thought that he could sell. And I've already made fun of some of the covers before, but I don't know. Maybe D, but
Do you remember that cover of Jabba? Like he's gonna.
I'm
fend
going to say D because none of those were memorable.
no.
All right, and that's the list.
There you go. There's our list.
Not as probably not as fun as the novel one because I don't think everyone's as familiar with the comic writers or other than the high-profile ones.
You know, I've read more of the comics than the novels, so I'm glad to be on this.
Yeah, that's why we included you on it. That's why we took Brian out. Plus, we were sad about Brian's, ultimate hatred and rage against Stackpole. It was weird.
I got to be honest. I saw you guys were doing this. I didn't jump on because I didn't want to get berated. But then he left. I don't know. I was looking forward to being called lots of horrible names. I wish he was still around.
I know. I don't know where Pip went. He was here, and I was looking to hear him call you awful names, and it was kind of disappointing.
I jumped on. All right.
Yeah, I know. It's sad.
Yeah.
And Evan wasn't here to insult me. I mean, it just wasn't the same.
I mean, I will say this to answer the question in the chat. Yes, they're in the process of editing the next Minor Nest podcast. It was supposed to be done today, but family stuff came up, so hopefully it will be done tomorrow.
And if you want to make your own tier list of these guys, you can do so by just looking up
Thanks, Ryan.
Star Wars Expanded Universe comic writers tier list.
Uzib, it's Archie Goodwin is the best original Marvel Star Wars comic writer.
Well, we got Archie Goodwin, Kevin Janderson, Matthew Rosenberg, Ostrander, and Veach in S tier.
It's a good list.
Yeah, it is a good list.
You know what?
So,
That every single one of those people I would want on a story group, on an EU story group, right? You know, you'd feel totally confident, right, about the future of the
Even
story.
that's
Veach?
true.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. His problem was with something else. It wasn't with fans.
Yeah.
No, it was
It was with Lucasfilm. And contracts and how contracts are written at that time.
Yeah. Lucas himself loved what he contributed
Yes, he did.
and read it.
So yeah. So who knows? Be back for more.
Yep.
But
Fun.
hey guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a part of it. It was always fun. It's always fun to rank these. Thank you, Dylan, for putting it together. I know I gave you a hard time, but you're awesome.
This one was like terrible.
No, it's fine. So we'll be back. We'll be doing I don't know what next, but this is fun. We'll do it again
I
sometime.
think we've got what young adults, and then like
Well, there's not that many young adult. Yeah, young adult gets blurred into the lines of children. So if you want to do young adult and children's,
young adult and children,
Chris, to
then
put those together.
Yeah, you'd have to really figure out the lines there. That would get too broad. I mean,
Well,
you have to say like children. Like, you know what? There's a difference between junior novels and then just like kids stuff, right?
young adult and junior, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
all of
well,
under 18, I guess.
I think you should do an entire one on just UK Clone Wars short stories.
All 2 of them.
There's a long list, but
that's just
Well, those are the
Wow.
ones that actually did like a bunch. But I can see us doing that, and maybe not the RPGs, 'cause I don't think people know the RPGs that well, but the source books like the Jason Fry's, the Ryder Winhams, the and them.
sure, yeah, I think that's an interesting idea. There's a billion things. I love this. I actually this week I actually went on to the tier maker and started making lists of my own. I started
Look
with
at
the book covers, like because I
Oh, cool! We can do we can actually do that one next.
We'll call it
yeah, that'd be fun.
see. I thought this one would take like 6 hours, right, with the number of people, but I think the book covers one really wouldn't take that long if you narrowed it to which books you wanted to do.
For real. We get yeah. But real quick, I'm going to end this for everyone. We'll continue this discussion off record because we like to cuss and drink and snort blow while the cameras aren't on us. So we'll see. And when I say we, I mean Dylan.